Got the 4 sill boards laid out here, and as you can see, I'm just starting to put them together. This is the first corner. To make this easy for me to remember when I'm putting it together on site, I'll mark each joint here in Roman numerals. You can see here's 2 and the 2, and that way I can stack these up and everything will be labeled, including the post. This is joint number 3 here, so I will mark it with the Roman numeral 3s, the chisel marks. Three mates to 3. Number 3 is a little tight, so I'll have to do a little trimming. As a rule, when you're trimming, you trim the tenon side, not the mortise. You leave the mortise alone, and so I'll pound this back out, pare off a little material off the top and the bottom, and then try to refit. Several guys asked me about last night's video of the fast or the high speed joint that I cut, how long the first one took. Because the second one you saw took about 16-17 minutes. And the first one, I'll bet it probably took me an hour and a half. And it just got faster and faster from there. And not only faster, but better. Once I realized, started to fit them and started to, I could tell where to skimp, where not to skimp, how much tolerance I needed, sped the whole thing up a lot too. As you can see from that video and this, that a sharp chisel is really important, and that's something you need to learn how to do yourself. And I have, if you're interested, let me know. I'll do a video on how to sharpen the chisels. It's actually quite simple. And you can do it yourself. I sharpen mine every evening when I'm done with them, and it just takes a few minutes. I've really enjoyed working with hand tools on this project. I didn't grow up using hand tools. Everything was done by power tools, and I just find that with my limited ability, my limited skill, I could just tell that after using them, if you know how to use them properly, you keep them sharp and they're good quality, you can really work efficiently. And I think what I find with power tools is that everything is so fast and it's so easy to make a mistake, and you just care a little bit less when you use power tools. It's just so effortlessly, it just takes so little effort to cut a board, to do anything, that you don't really have anything invested in it. By the time you get to the end of spending several evenings chiseling all this stuff out by hand, milling the lumber by hand, you're very careful on your measurements. You're very careful at everything you do, that you don't make a mistake, and you just care more. And it's been fun to learn how to use these old tools, and like this block plane right here. Stanley was the benchmark for years and years of really high quality hand tools, especially planes. This is this Stanley Sweetheart. And they, unfortunately, they went cheap the last several years. You'll see their stuff in Home Depot and Lowe's, and they have planes you can buy for about $20, $25, and they're garbage. But just recently they started to recreate their really nice old style with modern materials, A2 tool steel, heavy duty solid cast, like this one right here, that's just a beautiful tool. And I don't know a lot about block planes, but after using it, I have used the old ones, there's no comparison. It must be 3 times the weight and just a beautiful tool. I've got this pared down a little bit. One thing I found, to be really careful to clean all the wood chips out. It's amazing how one tiny little wood chip can prevent you from seating in. It's really frustrating to have to pound it back out again to remove it. So let's see if we can't fit this thing up. Tight's okay, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as it keeps moving. Number 3 went in pretty good. This is the first time I fitted it, but you can see right here that we are a little bit shy. So what I'll have to do is to pound this back out, and then the inside of this tenon back here, remove about an 1/8 inch of material right here. I want this to be flush here and here, and also the same. This shoulder right here, you can see the difference, the crack right there. Into here it's a little bit tighter. A little bit of this shoulder needs to be removed right here to allow this to come in and sit flush. I've found this has been, you know, my dad always says you strive for perfection and you end up with mediocre. And that's so often the case, and I really put a lot of time and effort into this, trying to get everything perfect, but I have to understand, or I'm learning to understand, that I'm working with a living material that is constantly in flux and moving and drawing and twisting, and you just get as good as you can, and not to beat yourself up over it. This is kind of a learning project, and the next one will be undoubtedly better. Alright, I got it all pared down, so let's see if it fits now. Looking better already. Alright, so I got a nice flush corner right here, but we're still bumping into something. I can see right here. You can see right here we're tight, so we're hitting in this upper corner right there. So you can see from this angle here, this needs to come towards me, so I have to remove a little bit more in that corner. Back over here we have plenty, a gap right there, so it's all being held up right there. So I'll punch it back out and remove this, and then try to refit. Alright, let's try joint number 3, hopefully the third and final time. Oh, that's better. That looks pretty good. It's not perfect on the bottom, but I'm pretty square here. Man, I'll tell you one thing with timber framing is it'll give you a buff, man. It's like makes P90X look like a Girl Scout workout. All right, that looks great. Nice and square. That's as good as I'm going to get it. I got a little twist in the bottom, not quite flush here, but this is what I'm after right here. This is where my siding is going to come down, so I'm going to be flush here and flush here. And then my this is the mortise for the principal post in the corner, and it'll go in here and pin through, and then I'll pin through this. And number 3 down. Let's go do number 4. All right, let's try on corner number 4, fourth and final. Get it started. There we go. Actually looks pretty good. I think this was the last one I cut, so it's definitely took the least amount of work. I've got it squared. I got a little bit of opening right there, but I think it's just because I've hammered it, pushed it over. So let's square it up and see how it squares. Well, that's it for the sill boards. I got it perfectly squared. Dimensionally, it came out perfect, and just really happy with it. So that's it. No need of a foundation because the timbers are so big that I'll just sit it on 4 flat rocks, and that will be the foundation. It will support itself because it's really, really overbuilt. So 12 by 16, that's a good start. I'm working off of this set of plans right here. Let me tip this down here. As you can see, so to orient it, here's the first floor, and we have the 4 sill beams here, as you see laid out. The next will be the 7 floor joists, and those will be 6 by 8s. Those are going to go pretty quick because I just have to mill them. That's going to take a while, but there's no jointing. They're just straight cut, so those will fit in there. And then I'll be able to take it up on site and put the decking on and then start on the second story. The 4 corner posts and the end girts and the summer and all of that. So I feel like I've got some momentum going now.